Hey guys, welcome to a brand new series here on the AspieWorld. This show is called Dope or Nope, and basically what it is my team and I have come up with a bunch of different things that are related to the topic this week of lightbulb moment, which is basically autism diagnosis and the process of diagnosis and all that kind of jazz. But there'll be a different topic every week, and basically I've got to tell you if the items that they've picked or we've picked are dope or nope, if they're good or they're bad. So Steph is here with me, and Steph's going to read out the different types of things that we are going to be judging, I guess. That's a weird thing to say. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Buckle up, guys. Alright, Steph, you can hit me with the first thing you want me to rate.
So, I've themed this on autism-based resources, post and pre-diagnosis.
Okay.
So, the first one is getting childhood accounts of you from your friends and family.
And is this okay? So this is interviewing parents before, or interviewing parents, family, friends before you actually have a assessment. I would say this is dope because it gives you a bit of a broader insight into you growing up with an autism spectrum disorder. I can see how this could be difficult, but I guess it would be dope.
Your local GP.
Oh, nope. And I say this, I say this because when I was researching, I found out that only more than 40% of all GPs or physicians in America actually have any knowledge on autism. So almost half of them have no knowledge on autism. So it's like, no, just nope. I mean, if it's any less than like 70% of people who know anything about it, it's like, nope. Next.
So this probably lends quite well to the next one. Content shared by autistic creators, and you're probably going to be biased about this one.
Well, I have been known to share an old video or two, or my own video or two. I would say this is a big dope, but there is instances where this could be a downfall, where people could spread misinformation, dangerous narrative, and just use it as a cause for bullying. So it depends who you're following, really. I would say generally this is a dope.
You're a therapist or life coach.
Oh.
Not your psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever one is, because I always forget.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna say, man, I can't deal with life coaches. Okay, I'm gonna say dope because therapists can be really good. One of the best experiences I had in my entire life was when I was, where was I? I was getting counselling for the first time ever, right? And that was like psychotherapy, which is great, and it actually did wonders for me. So I'd say this is dope, but maybe it's just me. I don't know. This is just remember, guys, this is my opinion on these things. Don't take my word for it. Check them out yourself.
Okay, we've got two types of online quizzes that you can do. So the How Autistic Am I style quizzes.
How autistic am I? It sounds like
scales where you're like answering questions and they're like,
oh, if do you know what, the title alone reminds me of a meme. Like, if I'm wearing sunglasses indoors, how autistic am I? These terrible memes you feel about. Okay, I'm gonna say nope, because I don't know if it gives a fair estimation. Okay, what's the other type that you had?
So quizzes that actually follow some of the diagnostic criteria. So the AQ.
AQ, yeah, it's an autism quotient. Yeah, I think so. The AQ test and the ones that actually follow some diagnostic criteria, I give these guys a dope because we actually refer people to these with the website. You can actually go to TheAspieWorld.com/test and do one right now and see if you're on the autism spectrum. How about that?
Okay, and this one's a two-parter as well, and I'm just going to tell you them both. Kind of connected. So the diagnostic criteria and the DSM-5.
Ooh. Okay, I'm just going to say this. This is quite a broad statement, but diagnostic criteria is a nope. And the reason I say this is because it's based on stuff that Hans Asperger did and Leo Kanner did in 1942, which is total bollocks, because it doesn't really bear any notion on today. Whereas they are updating it and rapidly, and the DSM-5 is pretty decent. It's a great manual to use. So the DSM-5 does get a dope from me because the DSM-5 has grown with the times. Although the whole issue between Asperger's and autism spectrum disorder and the whole taking out and putting in, and I think it's going to change again. I don't know how people feel about it at the moment. It's dope, but it could turn to a big nope depending on what happens. But yeah, I think the diagnostic criteria definitely needs to still follow that linear format of kind of a linear Moore's curve and get better.
Support circles. So telling people after your diagnosis that you have an autism diagnosis now, so you have people around that understand.
Dope. This is so dope. Buddy systems are always work, and if they're true friends or true people who love you, they're going to understand and support you anyway. Never a dull moment. And this is another thing, if you tell somebody and they kind of dismiss it or they're an ass bag about it, then just like, they ain't worth having in your life, get rid of them. Yeah.
Support services for financial assistance.
Ooh, that's dope, because I have a huge issue managing finances. So my partner actually does all my finance management, because like it's difficult. It's difficult to manage finances because there's a lot of logistics involved in that take a lot of autism dysfunction, I guess, and executive dysfunction. So I think having like an app or a service that would help you with that is super, super dope.
Your local leisure based.
I'm going to say a big nope, and the reason I say that is because these things are not set up to accommodate people on the neurodivergent autism spectrum. But to my local one, right? This is my locals. So your local where you are might have a great autism hour, but mine not so good. I used to actually go to the gym at 5:30 every morning when there was nobody there, because I'm lucky enough to have a gym in my house now, but when I didn't have a gym in my house, that was when I went, and I actually went with Naomi that early in the morning because it was just too much to go when there's loads of people there, right? It's just big nope.
Supplements and holistic remedies.
I'm not for hokum, but supplements and holistic therapies or homeopathic remedies are a big dope from me. I'm like a huge hippie. If anybody doesn't know me, I'm like a massive hippie. I think that like having access to supplements like good nutrition, vitamins, and all that kind of stuff is really, really good. And I think that those things are going to be valued very well in your life. And some people are more susceptible than others to it, so you just have it's a trial and error. But for me, super dope.
Service and support animals.
Ooh, dope. This is Randall. He's neither a service or support animal, but he's an emotional support animal for me. So my dog, I couldn't live without my dog. The guy's amazing. Yeah, Randy? Yeah, whatever. But he's a good dog. You can actually see he's right there, and I think this is great. You know, I see people with support animals on planes. When I was in VidCon, every time I go there, I see Jess from How to ADHD, and she brings Chloe with her, and so I always play with Chloe, and she's so cute, like having a dog. But Jess is able to take her on planes and stuff, and Jess said, "Yeah, it's dope." She just fills out like a form. I actually have legal right to take Randy on it. I've got like the form. I can take Randy on a plane with me, which is weird. I don't. He would. He would just chill out and eat everyone's food, but still, it's kind of weird. I wouldn't take him on a long haul 12-hour flight or something.
Getting an advocate for things.
Ooh. This is really good. I'm going to say this is a big dope, and the reason I say this is because I had an advocate called Angie, and bless her heart, and she helped me a lot when I was first diagnosed, and when I lost David Oliver, who was my kind of support worker. Angie kind of stepped in as an advocate, and she helped me with like when the government were being ass bags. And I think that people who've got like a very timid voice, like now I'm super confident and I know what to do and I've been through the system, like I'm big enough and bold enough to do that, but people who are more timid and more kind of like, you know, less able to speak out, I think that having somebody on their behalf speak out for them is super dope. Right, next.
Sorry, group activities, but with other autistic people.
Oh,
It's groups,
but autistic
of people, but they're autistic.
I'm gonna say this is a big dope, and the reason I say this is because I used to attend the Anglesey and Gwynedd, where I live, Autism and Asperger's Association, and we'd pay money in, and we'd go and do events, and we'd pay money to come see speakers, and there would be like tea and coffee and refreshments, and it was great. And the reason I say that is because autistic people want to socialise, but it's hard to socialise with people who don't understand you. But when you're surrounded by people who do understand you, it becomes a lot more easier, which is why I've joined my local Dungeons and Dragons group to then play autistic Dungeons and Dragons, because the people I know are on the spectrum are in the group. So yeah, dope.
So you've got your diagnosis, you've learned everything that you think you could learn about your autism, you've got your forms in front of you telling you everything.
It's a difficult time.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Going down the rabbit hole in terms of your own diagnosis. I think this is a dope thing to do because you'll learn more about yourself and you'll self-explore and self-accept and give yourself worth a much-needed upgrade. But the problem I foresee with this, though, is that you could do that whole thing with, like, you know, when people say, like, oh, my shoulder hurts, and it's like, WebMD, you have cancer. It's like, you don't have cancer, you just got a hurt shoulder or something, you know what I mean? And so I think that a lot of the time you could be searching for something and it could be completely irrelevant, but you may have convinced yourself that it's that because you're just in the rut of kind of like going through these things. So I think you have to be in an emotional sound state of mind to research more about your thing, and also take it with a pinch of salt. A possibility, and if it is a possibility, then go speak to your GP or your physician. So I have a friend, and she, you know, had autism and ADHD diagnosis, but then figured out she had Tourette's as well, but she only knows that because she's been going through the motions of kind of, you know, reading through the DSM and realizing she aligns with this, and then asking a physician if that's that, and they say yeah it is. So it's kind of dope, but you gotta be careful. So we are at questions, right?
Yeah, that just kind of sparked another one. Just
all right, hit me.
So if you're kind of like learn more and you're kind of telling people about it, what about in public? So obviously I know you do like the autism alert cards and stuff, so actually like declaring your diagnosis publicly.
Oh, that's a sticky one. And I'd say that, sorry, it's a nope, because you don't need to declare anything. Because it could get you in sticky situations. If there's people around you who could take you for a vulnerable person and then rob you, like, you know, make crime and stuff, then, you know, by disclosing that you have some vulnerability, you may actually make yourself more vulnerable than you would have been. But in certain circles, it's okay. So it's a kind of a different one. But I'm going to say like a nope for now, because like I don't think we're at that level that society can really take care of other people at the moment. We're getting better, but it's not there yet. But yeah, it's a good question though, Steph. So thank you to the lovely Steph for asking these questions. Steph has been amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. And yeah, and yeah, I'm excited to come back next week, stronger, harder, with, you know, more fire questions. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow for another video. And yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, peace out.